I grew up hearing spooky stories from my dad. He'd tell me stories about ghosts and demons while I was tucked under my covers. But even after all that, nothing could have prepared me for what happened in my own home. In today's video, I'm going to tell you a scary story about ghosts. If you like scary videos, then make sure to subscribe, because I'll be uploading more just like this one. And if you don't, well, at least you've got a warning. This is your last chance to click away if you don't want to hear this story. Once upon a time, there was an old woman who lived alone in her house. The locals knew her only as Old Hag Gertrude, because she looked like one and she acted like one too. She didn't welcome visitors, and she kept to herself for years. One day she fell ill, and no one came to take care of her because no one liked her. So she was left to die alone in her house. When she passed away, her body stayed in the house 4 weeks before anyone found it. Fast forward a few years, and the house had become a ruin. Locals were afraid to go near the place because they said the old woman's ghost haunted the home. They claimed she roamed the halls at night, dragging her feet and looking for company. However, no one knew if these stories were true or not. One day, a young man decided to find out. His name was Alex, and he was a paranormal investigator. He wanted to see if the stories about Old Hag Gertrude were true. So he gathered his equipment and headed over to the abandoned house. As soon as he stepped inside, he felt a cold breeze on his neck. Was this the ghost of Old Hag Gertrude? Or was it just his imagination? Alex continued exploring the house, and he soon found a diary. It belonged to Old Hag Gertrude, and it told the story of a lonely woman who had been abandoned by her friends and family. As Alex read the diary, he could feel the sadness and despair coming off the pages. It made him sad to know that someone could live such a horrible life. But he soon became even sadder when he discovered the skeleton of Old Hag Gertrude in the basement. It was clear that she had died alone and nobody had come to collect her body. All of a sudden, the hair on the back of Alex's neck stood up. He could feel eyes on him, and he turned around to see a ghostly figure standing in front of him. It was the ghost of Old Hag Gertrude. She looked at Alex with a sorrowful expression on her face. Then she turned and walked away. Alex quickly snapped out of his shock and followed the ghost. He wanted to talk to her and learn more about her story. But the ghost kept walking until she reached a bedroom. Alex followed her into the room and watched as she walked up to a full-length mirror. She stared at her reflection for a moment before turning to look at Alex. Her eyes were filled with sadness and regret. Alex was shocked, but not scared. He was intrigued. What was the ghost trying to show him? Why did she keep appearing to him? Determined to get answers, he began searching the room and soon found a hidden compartment in the closet. Inside, he found a collection of letters and photographs. The letters were love letters from a man named William Old Hag Gertrude. They spoke of a deep love that William had for Gertrude. But they also revealed that he had to leave her because of her cruel and abusive behavior. Gertrude had become an old and bitter woman and had pushed everyone away, including William. As Alex read through the letters, he felt a deep sense of empathy for both Gertrude and William. Gertrude may have been a horrible person in the end, but she was once loved by someone. The photographs in the hidden compartment were of Gertrude and William together with their 2 children. The family looked happy and in love, but Alex could sense a darkness lurking beneath the surface. Gertrude's smile seemed forced, and her eyes were cold and distant. It was clear that she was a manipulative and controlling mother who used her children to get what she wanted. As Alex continued to investigate the house, he uncovered more dark secrets about old hag Gertrude. He found a locked journal in the attic which revealed that Gertrude had murdered her sister years ago. She had always been jealous of her sister's beauty, and had grown resentful of the attention that she received. Gertrude had poisoned her sister and then framed her death as an accident. It was clear that Gertrude was a cold-hearted killer who would stop at nothing to get what she wanted. But as Alex learned more about Gertrude, he couldn't help but feel a growing sense of sympathy for her. He realized that she had been abandoned by her family as a child and had been forced to fend for herself. She had never known what it was like to be loved or cared for, and she had lashed out at the world in the only way that she knew how. But despite his sympathy for Gertrude, Alex couldn't help but feel a sense of dread as he continued his investigation. He could feel a dark presence in the house, and he could sense that Gertrude wasn't the only ghost that haunted the halls. As he explored the house, he heard strange noises and felt cold spots. He even saw shadowy figures lurking in the corners of his eye. It was clear that he was not alone in the house, but he didn't know if the spirits that haunted the home were friendly or not. Determined to uncover the truth, Alex set up cameras and recording equipment throughout the house, and then spent the night alone in the house. As the night wore on, the strange activity increased. He heard footsteps in the attic, whispers in the walls and doors opening and closing on their own. Then, in the middle of the night, he heard a blood-curdling scream. Alex quickly grabbed his camera and rushed to the source of the noise. He found the ghost of old hag Gertrude standing in the hallway, her eyes wide with terror. But it wasn't just Gertrude's ghost that Alex saw that night. He also saw the ghosts of a young girl standing at the top of the stairs. The girl's eyes were filled with sadness, and she seemed to be reaching out to Alex. He felt a strong connection with the girl, and he knew that she was trying to communicate with him. As the night continued, Alex saw more ghosts, each with their own story to tell. There is the ghost of a man who had been murdered in the basement, a woman who had taken her own life in the bedroom, and a family who had been torn apart by tragedy. Each ghost was trapped in the house, unable to move on because they had unfinished business. Alex felt a sense of responsibility to help them, and he began to perform seances and other rituals to try to contact them. As the night drew to a close, Alex was exhausted, but he knew that he had made a connection with the spirits that haunted the house. He had given them a voice, and they had finally been able to share their stories with him. In the morning, when the sun came up, the strange activity stopped, and the house was silent. Alex packed up his equipment and left the house, feeling drained but satisfied. He had uncovered the dark secrets of the house and helped the spirits find peace. But as he drove away, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. He turned around slowly and saw a black car following him. He sped up, and the car behind him did, too. Alex was terrified. Who was in the car and why were they following him? He pulled over and the car behind him finally stopped. A group of men got out of the car and approached Alex's car. They were dressed in black suits and their faces were stern. "Mr. Alex," one of the men said, "we need to talk to you." Alex's heart sank. He knew that these men were not friendly. They were here to take him to hell. But why? What had he done to deserve this? As the men dragged Alex out of his car and forced him into the back of their black car, he knew that his fate was sealed. He had been chosen to join the Devil's army, and he would spend eternity serving the Dark Lord. And that's the story I want to tell you today. A story about a man who was taken to hell by the Devil's army. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please hit the thumbs up button below. It really helps me out. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then please subscribe. I'll see you next time.